class today, everybody. Today we are going to be I'm going to teach you how to add and subtract like and unlike fractions. Okay. First of all, I would like everyone to get out a sheet of paper and a pen or pencil, and I would like you to be doing some of these problems, and as I walk down to the class, I would like, I'll call on a few of you to go on the board and solve these problems. It's okay if you don't know it, I just want to see what you remember, and then we can work them out together. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Yeah. So this one says 1/4 plus 2/3 equals. This is an unlike addition problem because the denominators are different, the 4 and the 3. 5/8 plus 2/8 is a like addition problem because the denominators are the same. Sheila, can I have you come up and solve this problem for me, please?
I don't. What is it? Is it 7/8? No? Sure. I'm looking at it.
Everyone can help out with your this one. This is 5/8 plus 2/8. That's correct. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Kelly, can I have you come? Or which one are you working on?
I have already finished 4.
Oh my god.
Will you come and solve one for us, please?
So I just like to select one.
Okay.
Because I'm so short.
I know.
So it's equal to this one.
This one. And how did you get there to be an 8 under?
Because this one is different, right? And then you need to make this one to be the same with this one. Because 8 is equal 4 plus 4 times 2. So that this one is the same, like 4 divided 8. So that this one is times 2, and then this one needs to times 2.
Because whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do
Yeah,
to the
so
top.
it's kind of like 8, like 4 divided 8. So we need to plus it together, it's 8 divided 8, so it's 1.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Loki, can I have you solve this one for me? Or whichever of any ones that you like. I would like everyone to work on some of these as well at your desk, so you can also have the problems or the answers that she does, and we can see if they're correct. Let's see. How did you get that? It looks like you
wrong.
tried to find the common, right?
So
You know, that's okay. That's okay. We're gonna learn how to do these. I just wanted to see what you guys would be able to remember, and we're gonna go over everything, so you can take a seat if you'd like. Thank you so much. So it looks like we have a lot to go over, which is great. We have a lot of time. Okay. So, can I get a raise of hands of who in the classroom likes to eat pizza? Everybody likes to eat pizza?
yes.
Me too. Pizza is my favorite food. In this big pizza pie, we have 8 slices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, in fractions, pizza or pies or circular objects are used a lot in fractions because you can slice them in half and you can share them. So, with this pizza, there's 8 slices. I want to give Sheila 2 slices of my pizza. Does anyone know what the fraction would be for that, or how we can put this in a problem form?
2/8.
2/8. Okay, why?
Because the entire pizza is
Entire
8
pizza.
pieces.
Okay, so
And
8.
then you said that you want to give 2 pieces to them, so minus 2/8.
Okay. And that equals how many pieces would I have left? 6 pieces. Perfect. We're not going to go into simplifying in just this lesson because we're going to learn the basics. But that's right. So we have a whole pizza, and if I give Sheila 2 of my pizzas, 2 of my slices, then I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's basically how you would do that problem. And that was a subtracting like factors, because both, you had a whole pizza and you're not splitting it up like 4 oranges or 4 apples. It was the same. We're dividing pizza. So that's what makes the denominators common. Okay. Sweet. You guys are on it. See, it's not so hard. It's always easier when it's talking about food. It really gets my attention. Okay. Next, can anyone tell me what type of problem this is? Is it an unlike factors? Are they unlike factors? Are they common factors? Addition, subtraction? Just like the problem itself.
Addition of like factors.
Why is it like factors?
Because the bottom denominator is the same.
Okay. So what she said was the 4 is your denominator, right? And the 3 is the numerator.
The numerator, right?
So basically with like factors, you can just take, you don't need to switch it to anything. Like I said, you have 4 slices of pizza and it's gonna all stay the same. So 3/4 plus 1/4 is
4/4, which is a whole.
4/4. Sorry. 3/4 of this is 3/4 of the pizza, and then plus the 1/4 right here, it makes it a whole. Right? Okay. Good. Yeah, you guys are on it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how we are going to do this problem right here. If you guys want to take notes on some of the things I say here, and we can just all solve it together. So I'll write it down here because I wasn't able to make them go right over each other. So 4/5 minus 1/2. What is the first thing that I want to do? Because these are unlike denominators. So I want to find the least common multiple, right?
Yep.
Okay. So the way that I'm going to find the least common multiple is I'm going to start with the 2 and see how many least common multiples that have a common number between 2 and 5. So 2, and then we'll have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And this list will just go on and on and on. But we want to find the lowest common multiple between 2 and 5. So now 5, we'll start, and then 5, 10, 15, 20. And this list will also go on and on and on. But do we see a common multiple between these two numbers? Which number is it? 10. Good. So 2 and 10 is the least common multiple of 2 and 5. And we can use this as our common denominator because it'll make it like the one whole pizza. It'll be easier to add. So we're going to have 10 as our common denominator. But since 10 is our common denominator, Can the numerators stay the same? No, they're not going to stay the same because the bottom changes, and whatever we did to the bottom, we're going to do to the top. So, how many times does it take for 5 to get into 2? To 10. 2. 10. It takes 2 times, like you said. So 2 to get to 10. So that means we have to multiply 2 to the top. 8. So then our top over here will be 8. How many times does it take 2 to get into 10? 5. So whatever we do to the bottom, we must do to the top. So that means over here. Now how do we finish off this problem? We can subtract the top because the bottoms are the same, right? So 8 minus 5 is 3. Perfect. See? So the basics with the unlike denominators is that we need to make them the same to subtract or add them, because like I said, you can't add oranges to apples to get an orange apple. That doesn't work that way. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or anything that needs to be clarified a little better? No? Any comments? Okay. Next. Okay, now we are going to do these problems as a class, or you are going to do them individually, and I'll give you some time to work on them, and I'm going to come around and help you guys also if you need help with these, and then we'll, if you need help on any, we'll do those as a class, and let me give you the worksheets for those. I have worksheets for you here. I would like you guys to try to work on these individually before we work together. I want you to remember the rules that we've talked about with finding the common denominators, least common multiples. I can write things on the board for you to be able to remember. Yeah. Raise your hand if you have any questions.
Do you want us to simplify or just do it like this?
You can simplify. Right now we're not going to be learning that, so that we can just stick to these, but you can simplify, yeah. I want you to remember that we need to find the least common multiples. We need to have the denominators the same. Fast, you got this down. Good job. How are you doing, Vicky? Need more help? Okay. So did you find the least common multiple of 4 and 6 is 24. Good. And so to get the 24 from 4, we did times it by 6, right? So you did that 16 plus 4. Is that 32? Yeah. Okay. And then 42. Sorry. 42 over 24. 92. Sorry, I can't remember that.
Yeah.
When you're done, you can write some of the answers on the board for one of the problems. Just kidding, they're not on the board. I take that back. Good. So you found the least common multiples. A 54, 7. Good job. Good job. How are you guys doing over here?
I know. We don't let me do that.
Getting kind of easier to. I like how.
Is this individual practice?
Yes. I like how you're writing out the. How are you guys doing? You can use a calculator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you use your finger?
You can use whatever you use.
That's so hard.
Hope I did these right because they seemed easier when I did them.
Oh no, I just don't know math.
Amy, can I have you do number 1 on the board? When you were.
I was gonna say 24.
Does everyone know how we got this, or did everyone get the same answer? Yeah? Okay. So she found her least common, or the common denominator was 24, which she did to the bottom, she also did to the top. Added them just as she would, and then this was the product of that. Good job. Does anyone need more time to work on this? Or would anyone like to do another one on the board? You can. Yeah, you can go for it.
Okay, so I'll do this long one, but
Yeah.
hopefully it's not wrong. Okay, so that's 6. So I did this thing on the bottom, you know,
Yeah.
and so on. And then I ended up, or I'll just go ahead and do it. Right, so, the common number, denominator is 32. So this one was times by 6, this one was times by 7. So times this up here by 6, this by 7, right? Okay, so now we can, okay. Okay, so 18 over 42, so that's 70 over 32, am I right? Or
we see a different way of like working out the problem. This is a way that's easier for me to work it out, is like visually seeing each number being written out. But this also works just as well because you did it more in your head also, right? Good. And then for these types of numbers, since we're still young, we can use a calculator or our fingers, whatever works. Yeah. Okay. So now, I want you to get into groups of 2 or groups of 3 because we have an odd number. I would like you to come up with your own common like addition or subtraction problem like we did with the pizza. So it can be any type of object that you have at home, or food, but just discuss with your partner and then we'll share it at the end. So you guys can do that now. So you 3 and you 2. So I want you to come up with like the pizza idea that we had. Like I did 8 eighths minus 2 eighths equals 6 eighths, like the pizza. So you can just do that with another type of food. Or subtraction.
We don't have.
So it's kind of like to make an example.
Yeah, just make another example, put them on each other, and then we'll present it together.
Okay, then you're gonna, yeah.
Okay. And then we have, how many croutons should we have?
How many pieces?
We start with
Nine, okay. We had 9 pieces of chips. You ate 2, I ate 1, she ate 1. 3.
So
Are you guys doing good?
yeah, you need to find how many
croutons. Okay.
I'll swing by this direction. It's right there.
Okay. Is this all 1 minus 9?
Yeah.
You guys don't laugh. How are you guys doing? You got your exam?
Yeah, we do.
Would you like to present it to us? Yeah.
What do you, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Present it from here.
That's fine.
Oh, perfect.
What's that?
I know.
It's a bed.
It's a salad. This is a salad. Okay, and these are croutons in the salad. Okay, so we have 12 croutons, but then my friend comes over, Sheila, and she takes 4 of my croutons. So originally I had 12 over 12, which is a whole. And then she took 4 croutons. So it'd be minus 4 over 12. And that leaves me with 8 croutons. Good job, you guys. Excellent work.
Thank you guys. I love that type of healthiness that you're adding into our lesson
It's
here.
gonna be a pie, but.
Thank you. Okay, you guys, what did you come up with?
Cake.
Cake. How did you make cake into fractions?
Actually, it's square so that it should be like equal amount. So we had 9 pieces of cherry cake.
Okay.
So we put 9 at the bottom, and then because it was the entire one, we put 9 at the first, and then Kelly ate 2 pieces, so we subtract 2 out of 9, and then I ate 1, and Bookie ate 3. So we subtract because 1 is not enough for her. We subtract from 9 subtract 2, subtract 1, subtract 3. So we had 3 pieces left at the end. So we simplified it, so it's 1 over 3.
Great. Can I make that even shorter a little bit? So you started off with 9 slices, right?
Yeah.
And then how many altogether between the 3 of you did you
6.
eat? 6. So 6 over 9, which is the same thing that you said with minus 2 over 9 minus 1 minus 3. So how many did you say? 9 over 9 minus 6 over 9 equals
3 over 9.
3 over 9. Perfect. Sorry, it's hard to see. Good. Thanks. You guys would have a great birthday party then. You can share with all your friends all these questions. So the idea of this lesson was for you guys to learn different strategies to calculate whole numbers to solve problems. We can see here that we use whole numbers to do the problems, even though we're working with fractions. So you had to do 4 times 6 to get your 24, 10 times 6 to get 60, somewhere right there. Also, another outcome was to use a variety of strategies to add and subtract fractions with like and unlike denominators under 12. So we started out with these numbers and our fractions are all under 12. And that is it. Now you're all pros in subtracting and adding fractions. For homework, I will give you another sheet to do, and we can work on the one that you guys already have. And then coming next class, we'll work on multiplying and dividing fractions. Thank you.